Hi YouTube, RobinThat's1 here, and I've got some comic book reviews for you today. All New X-Men issue 7, BatGirl issue 17, All New X-Men issue 10, and Red Hood and the Outlaws issue 19, and Injustice Gods Among Us issue 5. So let's start off with All New X-Men issue 7. So in this issue we see Scott deal with some of the issues that everyone is having with him, and also some of the issues that his future self has done in his past. Bendis does a very, very good job at making two different distinct characters. Because the original Scott, Scott in his past self is such a different character to present day Scott. For instance, the past Scott is more of a teenager, and he isn't weighed down by anything. Because future Scott is weighed down by all of his past mistakes, the fact that he killed Xavier. He's weighed down by his past, and it's so refreshing to see a Scott that's not weighed down by this, by his past. But he is weighed down by, by everyone's opinions of him. And Bendis does an excellent job with the dialogue between Mystique and past Cyclops, which reflects just how much Scott, the present day Scott, has changed. And also this issue hints at a darker plot with Mystique. So that's All New X-Men issue 7. And now, skipping a bunch, we go on to All New X-Men issue 10. Here we have Mystique and her team, consisting of Sabretooth and Lady Mastermind, who in issue 9 went into a S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier and broke Lady Mastermind out of prison. So here we have the after effects of that. We have Maria Hill coming to the helicarrier, her learning that Lady Mastermind got captured, got freed. It's really quite good. And for some reason, Mystique is going after Banks, which I believe that she's going after Banks for a sole reason to, because she's building up to something. There's a grander scheme at work here. Meanwhile, we have the Uncanny X-Men team crossing over with the X-Men team, because present-day Scott is basically calling to arms the students of the X-Men. And he's basically saying he will protect anyone of his kind. And he's gonna go after the humans in his revolution. It's also very interesting, the dialogue between present-day Scott and past Scott. Because past Scott actually disagrees with what present-day Scott is doing. And there's, they're sort of at very different ends of the spectrum. You have present-day Scott hating the past one because he is no longer that innocent, that pure. And present-day Scott is tainted by his past. And I also found this comic very, very funny as well. And Bendis is doing such an excellent job with these characters. So next we have BatGirl issue 17. Where in the aftermath of death of the family, Batgirl is trying to track down all of Joker's gang. And she faces her sort of crazed brother, Gordon Jr., him, who sort of is going against her. And as Batgirl is going after all these Joker gangs, she's trying to save the police from various, from her brother. And also we have Jim Gordon actually put highest priority on his son to arrest him. And it's quite interesting because Gordon actually thinks of his son as a full-fledged villain. And I thought that was interesting. Also, this is the first issue that was not done by Gail Simone, as Gail Simone was temporarily fired. And it kind of does show, because Batgirl feels less traumatized by the death of the family than we were sort of led to believe. Also, we get Ricky in here as well, who appeared in BatGirl 13. So very cool, very cool. Next we have Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue 19. So we have Roy and Starfire journeying to the place called the Allcast, who basically are a group of people who trained Jason Todd after he got put into the Lazarus pit. And in this issue, Roy has to fight his inner demons, who take the form of his mentors, and slowly start putting the past behind him as he looks towards the present, and it's quite interesting because we see Roy sort of become inspired by Jason Todd. And which parallels Jason Todd, who is sort of trying to, go away from all of that. And we see Jason at a very, very vulnerable at a very vulnerable point in his story. As he tries to overcome his own demons. And because after the events of death of the family, and stuff like that, he's become a very damaged character. But I did feel this was slightly repetitive, as Batman issue 7, as Red Hood issue 17 did deal with that. Finally, we have Injustice issue 5. The first half of this comic has Flash deal with some of the guilt he's having regarding Superman's regime. And then in the second one, we have the Justice League go into Arkham Asylum to arrest various members. I've unfortunately run out of time, but this is a very, very good comic, and I urge you to get it. So, see you all later. Bye.